Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, with another Shadowverse episode. Today's deck is going to be Tempo Token Sword, a deck which is, as the name indicates, is a bit faster than the average mid-range sword deck, which honestly I feel is increasing, just moving towards the control role. But here we're sort of slightly aiming for something with a bit more aggression, a bit more speed, and a bit more ability to dodge some of all the removal decks, which is certainly starting to appear. So what are some of the bigger changes compared to mid-range? For starters, no Mars instead is Propagandacast is still a legendary, but he can sort of just buff on turn 3 and basically can just buff anything. So it can sort of give you a bit more extra push, but also at turn 6 it can basically act as a Sage Commander, thus giving you the ability to buff everything. And then finally got Marigna's Gospel, which theoretically can also help there around turn 9, in which case again you can buff something like +3/+3, draw a card and heal yourself. So a lot of utility in that card. Another big one here is actually Kunoichi Master, which, well, doesn't really appear in a lot of other mid-range decks, to be honest, but because again we're trying to play more aggressively, but also we're trying to avoid well, all the heavy decks that sort of rely a lot on removals, except for maybe AoEs, in which case, having ambush cards could do a lot there, which could also set off for stuff like, Propagandacast, Luminous Mage, or Sky Commander Celia, and for that matter, Valfric, which of course we then run specifically over Sky Fortress because he can buff these two a lot better. And then finally we got some more Council of Card Knights, which again sort of work well. This, for example, can give you sort of quite an aggressive build-up, which if survives can then be buffed up maybe. So there's sort of a lot here, a lot more tokens, but also tempo play. So again, it's more aggressive, but they can still play in controlling game versus aggro decks, for example. So, slightly swing in favour versus other mid-range decks with a bit of luck. And overall, it's also cheaper. It only runs these two as legendaries, so it's also a lot cheaper than most other of the other mid-range sword decks, which is the other sword decks in general, except aggro. If you don't want to make any substitutions, you could theoretically replace Propagandacast with Merchant Tet, though it does slightly reduce some of the consistency of the deck, but fulfills in many ways other of the same roles. And theoretically, Captain Malfred with Sage Commander, so that's sort of it there. But let's give this deck a spin, shall we? And we're up against Haven. Alright. Not quite what I'm looking for. Better curve, preferably. There we go. That is a better curve. 1, 2, 3. So that's a definite start. Haven, I actually haven't seen a lot of Haven lately, to be honest. Like, I've actually been seeing more Runecraft than Haven. Neutral rune or spell boost runes, if you will. But not a lot of Haven. On the ranking sort of ladder anyways. Make of that what you will. Alright. We throw down this one. And then we see what happens next. But so far we got the advantage the opponent hasn't played anything for 2 turns. That's usually not too bad. That's kind of good for us actually. Alright. Less good, but there you go. The back of this. Ta-da! Now we got 2 2/2s on board. Our opponent clearly did not expect that. Moria Encomium. Gemstone Carapace. Wow, this just got a lot more fun. Well, I've got 2 options. I can Holy Bear Knight, Bladed Hedgehog, evolve this, hit face for 6, or I can confront adversity, saving up these cards, and then hit for, well, still 6. Actually, I can hit for 7. Which point points down to 10. This one sort of creates a trickier board for him to deal with, which is kind of what we want anyways. So let's play the biggest tempo actually here. Boom. Oh wait, we don't actually because, yeah, never mind. We need 4 Swordcraft and Propagandacast is not Swordcraft, in which case we actually evolve this one, saving him for later, maybe next turn. So we end up still only doing 6 damage, but still that's down to 11. And we got a tricky board to deal with. I mean, there's 2 2/2s, 1 1/3 that can grow, and we got the 4/4. and you can't easily clear out everything at the same time. March EST time, that would be the standard response there. Clear out the bear and then trade into bat there. So now the trickier question becomes what we do next, what we get here. What do we get? There's also this one we have to worry about, obviously. So there's another series of concerns. It sort of has to be kept in mind. I mean, obviously I want to push as much damage in as possible, but if you allow him to get control of the board, it becomes, you know, what you call a bit of a problem. So we'd rather not go that direction if possible. So I mean, in that sense, one option is chromatic duel, trade in here, then evolve, trade into that, and then sort of hit for 3, pushing him down to 8. Not necessarily the most finesseful play, but I think it's the one that sort of has the most options, I guess. Again, not the best play. So down to 8. We will likely lose 1. I hope it's the 1/1 knight. Obviously the knight doesn't, but that's going to make it the most difficult from trade in and clear my board. Hedgehog went down. Bow. That's not good. As long as he doesn't have another tea time or priest the cudgel. He likely does, but if he doesn't, boom, jackpot. Less jackpot. Card. I want to save Council of Card Knights because I'm anticipating a John or something like that for next turn, so I'd rather have the ability to respond to that. If he plays a Heavenly Knight, I could just take the Spade Ray to evolve him, trade into it. So either way, I don't want to play Council of Card Knights right now. Otherwise we win! Hooray for Tempo Sword! And off we go versus Blockcraft. I'm going second, so I probably want to keep Frontline Cavalier. For the rest, I just want to sort of pop out there. So now the question is this aggro? Is this vengeance? Is this some kind of control? Jormungand? Or is it even like the sort of combo aggro that's sort of been appearing lately? And yes, that is a thing. Aggro combo sort of deck using Bellringer Angel. I might actually make a video on that. Spider weapon. Oh, so far that's no clear indication. It's running most decks because it's a pretty solid tool. Holy smokes. I just drew all of my Confront Adversity, so I sincerely hope this is an aggro deck because otherwise this is terrible. Yeah, that didn't really give us a clue as to what we're dealing with, but probably not aggro. Could be, but I don't think it is. I honestly have no clue what we're dealing with here. I honestly have no clue. Alright, that is most likely Jormungand or some other self-harm deck. I don't think Vengeance runs that one. Holy shit. Yeah, it's Jormungand. Or possibly it's a Dark Feast back decks. In which case, having all of my Confront Adversities right now is actually not very useful. Not particularly useful, to put it mildly. Put it very mildly. How do I deal with that one? I mean, I could just trade one in, then confront adversity. Kind of wish I had a Wander up here, or Luminous Mage. You're not Luminous Mage, but, yeah. Let's do it like this. I'm just going to go in aggressively here, because he wants to play Yomungan here, and I don't want him to play that, so I got to put up the pressure. I got to push the tempo. As Fatboy Slim always like to say. Push the tempo, push the tempo, push the tempo, always the tempo. Plus it also helps set off for lethal. I mean, if he tries to play Yomungan now, we murder him with Celia. We absolutely murder him. Ah. Now that's a problem, since we don't have any way of actually killing that. Also rather changes what we thought we knew about the deck as well, making things a bit further trickier. So how do I go about doing this? I mean, he can't evolve anymore. My instincts just tell me to just keep, you know, hitting Facey aggressively, like how much damage can I push in as fast as possible. But we can sort of go for, well, right about 3, 7, 8, and then maybe set up for Celia next turn if he somehow fails to clear the board. Well, he can still heal, which of course the problem if you just keep pushing, keep damaging him, we sort of make it have him just do what he wants to. So I guess that is our plan. It's definitely not my favorite battle plan, but we just gotta keep damaging faster than he can heal and just hope he does not have an AoE. Pray for that. I'm honestly worried about this deck. It has me worried. It has me very worried. Alright, that puts him out of AoE range, so the question is, what on earth has he planned here? I'm really nervous about this. Probably my Darkness Evolved experience, in which case they're going up against a just sort of Blackcraft deck that did not, was aggro, was usually a bad sign because you get hit with a Revelation, and I think it's those instincts that trigger into me right now, the Revelation instinct, like, oh no, I'm gonna get hit. Alright. We are... Oh, hello. Hello. Alright, if he doesn't clear the board, we got Valfrit now as a finisher here. Oh boy. This is tense. Sadly, you can't tell how many times she's damaged herself, but you probably shouldn't be able to finish you off with Dark Feast. Well, he, she, it, that. I don't know. But should not be able to finish me off with the Dark Feast, that, and most other things, so I'm on the safer side, I think. This deck has me nervous. Alright, that just limited his options by a lot. That has me happy. Very happy. You could even say I'm ecstatic. Ooh. Victory! That was definitely one that had me a bit nervous, to put it mildly. Again, memories of Control Blood from Darkness Evolved. Ooh. Trauma even. And Heaven again. Haven again. I like chromatic duel as a reserve. Going first though. 1, 2. Now we just need a 3 and a 4. Though considering, I was about to say, considering I just draw all of my confront adversities, the chance of them not being drawn the next match is actually quite high. Like, I don't know why, like, one match you draw all of the cards, then the next several matches you don't draw any of them. Slowly getting there. I rather want to keep Celia there as a reserve, but if it comes down to it, obviously, then we just gotta do it for the sword. Jeweled Princess. Alright. Okay, we got Council of Card Knights. Play that one. And just in case, I'm just gonna hit face. I mean, could play Summon and trade in with one of them, but even if it gets a value trade without my just confront adversity, problem solved. Problem bloody well solved. Well, I like Queen Chimera, the white here, gives us a full board. Creates several threats he has to worry about. And we got Kunoichi Master into Council of Card Knights. We got this, boys. We got this. It's a win. Oh. Oh, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Ooh. I don't think I've ever had such a clean victory versus Haven. You probably didn't see this one coming. What kind of mid-range deck runs Kunoichi Master? That's not how it's supposed to go. GG. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So there you have it. Tempo Token Sword. It's how Swordcraft is supposed to play, if you ask me. Much more aggressive, much more mean, and certainly with a lot more options of actually winning the game. And overall, I think also taking more advantage of the whole class identity of building up a lot of tokens and doing stuff with them. So, I mean, you can sort of get more Perseus, you got, again, Confront Adversity, which I still think is an amazing Swordcraft spell, to be honest. Like, it feels Swordcraft, and just in terms of tempo, is solid in a lot of cases. Plus, Valfried, yes, Council of Card Knights, you got Kunoichi March, which, again, is usually only seen as an aggro card, but, like, in mid-range, again, if you're sort of using it to sort of chain up other stuff, it's actually pretty good as well. In part because, again, they can't target it, so they have to use AoE to remove it. And not all decks run that early AoE. In fact, the only deck that does is mine. Well, that and Runecraft. So, there you go. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully this deck has interested you. Again, it's cheaper. I mean, again, you can replace Captain Valkyrie with Stage Commander, though it means less explosive, but it does mean faster in hand and cheaper. And similarly, Batcather can be replaced with Merchant Debt. Cheaper, but again, not quite as consistent as being able to target everything. But, you know, it can do it, in which case you could probably shave off a close to 13,000 vials of this deck, putting it down to, I think, 20,000 vials, which should be more overall affordable. So there you have it, a nice, fun, aggressive deck, which sort of, I think, slightly skirts around a lot of the decks targeting mid-range sword because it's faster, and again, runs Kunoichi Master, which also is a bit hard to target. Can also deal with aggro decks, and probably can occasionally also run under mid-range swords and those as well. So, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, share it with everyone. Spread the word. Unless it's to your enemies, of course, in which case I do understand. This is Imperial signing off, and see you all in another 2 days' time with another Shadowverse video. Cheers!